We are making the chocolate dessert of my dreams today. It's got chocolate cake, my favorite chocolate pudding, and a luscious chocolate ganache. This recipe is eggless and no bake and comes together beautifully. Let's get started. The first element that we are going to start prepping is a rich chocolate pudding. For that, I have some dark chocolate here that I'm going to chop roughly. Now I'm using a good quality dark chocolate, about 125 grams of it, and using a sharp knife, I'm going to chop all of it. This looks good. Let's set this aside. Now in a saucepan set over medium heat, I'm going to add about 2 cups of full fat milk along with half a cup of cream. I'm using fresh cream. You could also use a whipping cream if you like. And into this, the chocolate that we chopped earlier. Let's cook this until the chocolate begins to melt and the mixture comes to a slight simmer. While this is heating, in a separate bowl, I'm going to combine some superfine sugar, cocoa powder, and some corn flour. Use a whisk to give this a quick mix. So my milk, cream, and chocolate mixture has come to a slight simmer. I'm going to take this off the heat and then pour it over the dry mix slowly while continuously whisking with my other hand. We are going to ensure that the mixture doesn't have any lumps and is completely smooth. This looks good. I'm going to pour it back into the saucepan and cook the mixture again for about 2 to 3 minutes until it comes to a boil and my pudding becomes nice and thick, just like I want it to be. My pudding has come to a boil. I'm happy with how thick it is. I'm going to now transfer this into a clean bowl, and while it's still hot, I'm going to add in some salted butter along with some vanilla extract. Let's give this a good mix until the butter and vanilla are nicely incorporated. And your chocolate pudding is now ready. The second element of our dessert is chocolate ganache. For that, I have half a cup of finely chopped dark chocolate here. Onto this, I'm going to pour half a cup of fresh cream that I've heated in my microwave for about 40 seconds. Let this sit for a while and then use a whisk to mix everything together until the chocolate begins to melt and you get a smooth and luscious chocolate ganache. The next element for our dessert is some black coffee that you can make simply by combining a tablespoon of coffee powder with 1 cup of hot water. Just give this a quick mix and this is what we'll use to soak our cake. In case you want to avoid using coffee, you could simply soak your cake in some plain milk or maybe add some drinking chocolate in and make a chocolate milk to add another chocolatey element. Now the last and final element for our dessert is some cake. I'm using store-bought cake, which is very easily available. In case you want, you could also make cake at home from scratch. I'll leave the eggless recipe link in the description box below. All our elements are ready and it's now time to start assembling the dessert. I am using these square glass dishes that I have, but you could assemble this dessert in absolutely any dish that you like. To assemble the dessert, I am first going to place a layer of the chocolate cake at the bottom. Now onto this, I am pouring the coffee so that all the sponge is nicely soaked. This looks good. On top of it goes our cooled, thick chocolate pudding. Great. Now let's add another layer of the chocolate cake. And soak this with coffee as well. And now the last and final layer, which is the chocolate ganache. Let's add all of it on top and spread it into an even layer. And my chocolate dessert is now ready for the fridge. I'm going to let this chill in the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours. So this is out of the fridge and it's set properly. Now before we dig in, I'm going to dust it with some cocoa powder. This dessert is absolutely perfect for when I'm feeling low or need a pick-me-up, or simply when I'm craving something rich, indulgent and chocolatey. I hope you guys will try this simple no-bake eggless dessert at home, and don't forget to share pictures on Instagram by tagging me at Shivesh17. I'll see you guys very soon with another recipe. Until then, happy baking and take care.